this game ends up going the distance here, simply because... Welcome, ladies and gents, to Game 3 and the final game of these Gfinity £100 Cup games. This is, of course, the final, and it's being contested between two very, very strong players who are currently tied up 1 apiece, spawning in the 6 o'clock position on Varney Research Station as the yellow Zerg player with a slight orange tinge on this map, I happen to notice. Representing mYinsanity, it's Petraeus. His opponent, spawning in the 12 o'clock position as the blue Protoss player. He plays for Team Millennium and has been absolutely tearing it up this tournament until, I have to admit, the game that we just saw. Both players showing their vulnerability for the first time here because they are simply at that higher level. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Millennium's Lilbow. Pretty cool, pretty close games right now between these two excellent players, and we're now, of course, it is a long rush distance from top to bottom, but also bear in mind it's a 2-player map and the players know exactly where each other spawn. So for that reason, there aren't going to be too many super greedy builds here. I mean, we can get away with the hatch. We're obviously not going 3 hatch before pool or something like that. Could be incredibly dangerous when your opponent knows exactly where to look for you. Lilbow, in the meantime, getting the gateways down early. Nice and chilled out. Nothing out of the ordinary here from our Protoss player so far. And this Overlord is beelining it straight for the base, knowing that he'll get there comfortably before any potential stalkers or sentries are out on the map to tickle it to death. There's a cybernetics core, but I think this Overlord should get a peek into the base before a stalker will complete. In the meantime, he's moving off to the left-hand side as well because he is going to be checking out for potential timing on this expansion here, which is, of course, the natural. Reasonably long away again from the main base, and third bases, once again, are, frankly, they're just like open season here. It's incredibly difficult. The only thing there is the female Karak, apparently. Oh, we do have a probe sneaking out on this side of the base here, so that double ramp, by the way, also potentially a problem. I'll let you guys into a little secret. The first time I played on this map on ladder, like the very first time I saw this map, it was a TVZ. Wall off, no problem. Keep playing. What the Zerglings was more or less how my game ended. Sorry, no, not this map. That was the other map. There's... I'm getting confused. There's another new map in the map pool this year where there are destructible debris, and I didn't see it in my first game back. Zerglings took down the debris. I actually managed to win the game, but not before going, why are there 16 Zerglings in my base? Thankfully, it's not this, because this is, of course, in base and conveniently sealed off from the outside world. If someone can remind me in chat what the name of that other map is, I'd be grateful for that, because that's going to end up bugging me until the end of the broadcast now. We have the second gateway going down right now. We do have the third base now going down for Petraeus. Of course, we've already got the spawning pool out. We're going to be looking for his gas timings to see what kind of attacks he wants to do, what kind of tech he wants to move up to, if we're going to see a super quick lair or anything like that. 3 more gateways are getting produced, so Lilbow will have the option here for potentially going into some very quick aggression. So we'll be looking for that 4-gate pressure, but nothing out of the ordinary. There's a probe, potentially to put down a pylon, and there's a Zergling following it, so that could end up being an issue. Looks like he's going to put down the pylon and run, by the looks of things. So just advertising that the pressure is indeed going to be incoming, and Petraeus, of course, can see this with the Zergling, and will know to prepare accordingly. Now, this time around, notice to defend against the early pressure, also because this map, that distance is just reasonable. We do have the creep troopers connecting the second and third bases. He simply needs it at this point. We also have a spine crawler here as well, and there are 4 queens. So Petraeus, he's taking this quite seriously. He wants to make sure this can't take him out. The 4 warp gates are now in. So we're going to be keeping an eye on these warp-ins. Here we go. Zealots, very similar to a previous Lilbow game that we saw earlier this evening. But the response here is going to be pretty strong from Petraeus. We have a spine crawler from the get-go. That's not late at all. There are more lings. He's only now starting to produce a couple more drones now that he sees these queens are in front and that he's vaguely protected. A lot of queens, actually, from the Zerg player here. He just needs to make sure he doesn't miss on too many injects and get some more queens to keep those hatcheries nice and injected. Zergling spotting the warp-ins have in fact been used. The spine crawler goes, "Hey up, mate. How you doing?" And Lilbow saying, right, if I'm going to make this attack work, if I'm going to be taken seriously here, I'm going to need at least another warp in. He's looking for a way around this spine crawler, but the spine crawler is looking at them with intent right now. And he's got the evil glare in its eyes. And I think it is inevitably going to end up attacking something. And here we go. A lot of Zealots in this attack, but a lot of Queens as well. 15, now 18 more Zerglings being produced. Good transfuses on the Queens. Is this going to end up being too much again? We've got the Spine Crawler up this time. A lot of Queens. There are 7 Queens involved in this attack. But we need those Lings. And we need them right now. Is the Roach Warren too late? All but 2 of the Queens. Now 1 of the Queens left. And it looks like the 3rd hatch is going down here. Lilbow. Is Lilbow about to crumble and bow out of the tournament? Oh, this is so potentially close because there are 28 Lings, and yes, Zealots do really great against Lings, but that is a lot of them now streaming out. The 3rd hatch is still alive, so he'll be able to use lava from that to attempt to defend, and it's too much. GG, and the Lilbow takes the game with his pressure and wins the Gfinity £100 first place. Congratulations to him. Commiserations to Petraeus taking home 2nd there. What an excellent tournament we've had this evening.